Hello, hello, everyone. It's been a minute since I've come on here live, especially speaking English. It's actually the first one, except from my story last night. So, yeah, we back talking Dharma once in a blue whenever I'll come across some inspiring people that I'd love to interview. And here she is, my guest tonight. Alors. Sakina, you need to ask to come on to... there you are. Up. So yes, we're talking Dharma tonight. As my guest is French, but she has a big English-speaking community, so we thought it would be, more enticing. Hey,
Hello.
there you are. Hello, hello.
I'm too close. A
little bit. It's okay. Make yourself comfortable. Let's fix all these little details.
I need to go far. It's so weird. I'm so close. How come?
Because we're sharing space tonight.
Yeah, we're sharing space. Oh, maybe like that.
All right. Can everybody hear us okay? Can you hear me okay?
Me, yes.
Okay, good. So I guess it's fine. We'll wait to see if just one or two people could say yes. You can hear us, and then we'll get started.
Exciting. That's so weird to both be French and to speak in English.
I know. I was gonna say that. It's actually the first time I do the interview in English. I'm used to run them in French, but you have such a nice and big growing community in English that it makes sense, I think. For us to speak English. So so all right, tonight we're talking Dharma. I'm gonna go back.
No, Santiago, please. Okay, my kids are going. No, Federico, can you take care of the kid? Of course, that's going to happen.
Yeah, I just put mine to bed, so we should be fine.
Oh, well done. No, Santiago, Federico, can you take care of the kid? Oh, okay. No, bueno. Okay, sorry. Embracing. You were talking about, synchronicity. Embracing whatever happens.
Hey, you're a mom too.
Bon, Santiago, j'arrive dans 5 minutes, ok? J'arrive dans 5 minutes. Okay, he knows. Okay, sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
You're gonna scare everybody away.
You're a mom too, and that's part of living a Dharma's mom.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Yeah. That was on the path,
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So for anybody who's never heard about the word Dharma before, let me just explain that quickly, and then we'll dive right into your path. It's like is your connection good? Is my connection good? Sometimes it freezes a little bit.
It should be very good.
Okay. So same thing. We'll wait to hear if there's any.
Yeah, tell us in comment if there is a problem with my connection. It shouldn't be, but
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yes. So I guess maybe I could introduce myself too. So my name is Perrine. I'm French too, just like Sakina. But I lived in the US for over 10 years, and so that's why I speak English too. And I am a yoga teacher and a life coach, and I love coaching people around the theme of Dharma. Dharma is a Sanskrit word that comes from the yogic text, and it has many translations. One of them being what we usually call life's purpose or soul purpose. And when I started coaching people around Dharma, I was trying to explain it, but it's not always easy to explain. Those words don't necessarily mean the same thing to everybody. It can put like a little pressure on our shoulder, like who am I to have like a mission on this planet. And so I thought the best way to explain what Dharma is to interview people, to tell stories of people who are embodying what living their Dharma means. And so when you last share how your life completely changed with the pandemic and how you had to like rethink your whole business model and turn it to be the successful Instagram account and business that you are running today, I thought it was a really, really inspiring story. And that's when I said, hey, do you want to go for an interview, and you accepted. So first of all, thank you so much for accepting.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And I'm excited to hear about your story. So yeah, without further ado,
let's see. Somebody said my screen was breaking up. Let me just check my connection, because there is 2 things in the flat. It should be fine. Just 1 second. Sorry, I know it's bad. Everybody's leaving. I mean, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Let's wait a minute until it comes back.
You still see me breaking up?
Okay, hold on. We lost you for a minute. Now you're back.
Yeah, do you see me breaking up? Because I am with the big connection of the house. You should be fine.
Yeah, it could be mine. I live in the countryside. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. I don't know if my sound and my image is...
Sakina, your screen is, as I say, Sakina, your screen is breaking up.
Yeah. You know what? What matters is what you're going to tell us. It's all about storytelling tonight. So I guess we have all these lovely reels that we can see your gorgeous face on your Instagram account. But for tonight, we're gonna listen to your voice, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I hate when it's breaking up. And generally, I'm good with unless I go closer. I mean, I don't understand. Is it still breaking up? Anyone? Do you see me breaking up?
A little bit. A little bit.
It's so strange. Unless I change position.
But the sound is fine. The sound is fine.
Sound is fine. Okay, we can still hear you. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So so let's dive right in.
Yeah, let's go.
And well, I guess the first thing would be if you would like to introduce yourself. So I usually, when I ask my guests to introduce themselves, I love to know how they define themselves as, like, who they are. And in our society, who we are comes very closely with what we do. And so, yes, of course, tell us what you do, even though most people here know what you do. But what I like to know particularly is why you do what you do. This is like the heart of what Dharma is. Like, what lights you up about doing what you do.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to say that this interview is kind of outside my comfort zone. As I was telling you, I'm used to talk about, I don't know, acupuncture, acupressure, facial cupping, and then it's just about, me. It feels, nobody ever interviewed me about that. So, and you didn't ask me the question in advance either. So I'm just like going with the flow. So to tell you what I am, it's very difficult to say. It's just, it's
who
true.
You are. Yeah, who you are. How do you define yourself?
With somebody with not much plan. Like, I don't have a clear vision of where I'm going, and it's been the case since I'm a kid. Like everybody say, to have a vision about where do you see yourself at the end of the year, where do you see yourself at the end in 5 years, in 10 years. And I have to tell you, I never managed to to put something in return. I don't know where I'm going in a way. What I know is like but since I'm a kid, when I go somewhere, I need to be 100%. I need to believe in where I'm going. And I have to say, in a way, I've been lucky to be this way almost, for quite a long time, like to not have much, vision, but just to go with the flow. To where it's taking me. And if you're telling me, like, I'm trying to see like a lot of coaches saying like, oh, where do you want to be even just at the end of the year, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, wherever life takes me, Yeah, so I am somebody that goes with the flow, I would say.
Yeah, but I love it because you basically doing what so many people can do, which is be in the present moment and feeling where life wants to take you. And I think this is amazing because this is the way to be, and most of us don't know how to live that way. So awesome.
Well, the thing is, like, it opens it's true that I have this excitement about, for example, this year, because I'm thinking what's gonna come, what's going to come. So it's exciting because you have control. I mean, I work hard, and you have to do some you know, some basics, I don't know, but it's like I'm exciting to see where am I going to be, and it might be very difficult, you know, like you don't know what's going to happen, you know, so maybe something very difficult is going to happen, but wherever it's gonna come on my way, hopefully I'm gonna be able to take it as what I need, whatever needs to be on my way, on my path for me to grow in a way internally. So I'm excited. In fact, I'm excited about life in a way, you know. Yeah.
So cool. It reminds me of a quote that literally changed my life when somebody told me, life never gives you more than you can take.
Yeah.
Right? So whatever comes at you,
yeah,
whatever the obstacle, the challenge, if
yeah,
it's coming towards you, it means you are equipped to deal with it.
Yeah.
And it completely blew my mind when that
Yeah,
person
yeah,
told me
yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
that's pretty much what you're saying.
Yeah, as long as we keep some humility. I remember somebody told me, like, they thought that they were handling whatever their life, you know, like they were handling whatever come. And as soon as they started to have this thought, oh, that's fine, I can manage, I can go through life, something really hard hit them, you know, like, yeah, I think we always need to keep some, you know, if we think it's, yeah, if we think we did it, or we are on the, you know, we are strong, we have to be careful as well, you know, like, I don't know, keeping humble in a way, like life is going to teach us, and we are ready to take like some challenges in order for us to grow.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. The school of life and everything is here to teach us something. But I totally agree with you about humility and, you know, feeling connected maybe to something greater than us. Definitely. Yeah. But so going back to you, so yeah, maybe some people don't know what you do. I'm pretty sure everybody does. But do you want to tell us like what you do and how you came to do what you do, and what lights you up, like I said, about what you do?
Yeah, so I'm an acupuncturist, and since COVID happened, I couldn't see my patient face to face, so I started to teach facial cupping online, simply because in my acupuncture practice, I studied straight away. I studied cosmetic acupuncture at the same time I was doing my acupuncture studies, and each time I was doing a cosmetic acupuncture session, I was finishing it with facial cupping. You know, I've started doing facial cupping for, I don't know, 12 years, a long time, you know. And I started with some patients who had like Bell palsy or paralysis of the nerve, or or trigeminal neuralgia, which is also inflammation of the nerve on the face, which is very painful. And I started doing facial cupping on them. And because it helps them so much, I decided to do it on my cosmetic acupuncture patients. And so I was doing facial cupping. I was thinking facial cupping is my thing, you know. And when COVID happened, I decided to go online. I mean, actually, I met someone who told me, "Oh, Sakina, do you do facial cupping?" And I said, "Yes, facial cupping is my thing." And she said, "You should open a business." And I said, "Okay," you know, and that's how it started.
Wow. So you keep saying like facial cupping is your thing. What made it your thing? Like, what lights you up about facial cupping?
Well, it's just like because I didn't study it, you know, like, you know, when sometimes you've been taught things. The thing is that with facial cupping, because it's my patient had Bell palsy, which is paralysis of one side of the face, or another one, it was trigeminal neuralgia. She was really, really in much pain. And I was doing a bit of a bit of acupuncture on the face, did some electroacupuncture. And then I wanted to do some cupping, but cupping as an acupuncturist, you mostly use it with a glass cup and fire. You put the fire inside the cup, you put it on the skin, it removes the oxygen, so it creates a suction. But I couldn't do that on the face. So I simply Googled, I said, there must be a cup for the face, you know. And it was 12 years ago. It wasn't very, popular. And I got these cups from silicone cup from, South Korea. and I started doing it on them just by, you know, following the nerve pathway.
Okay.
And it really made such a difference. And I started to play with it. And when I decided to incorporate it in my acupuncture treatment, I mean, all my patients loved it. So I started to do a protocol. It's just like, you know, when you, it's a bit like a recipe, you know, like when you have a recipe, like food recipe, you create your own, you know, you feel it's your thing, you know, you've been doing it. So I feel facial cupping, I've been trying it, you know, like, because one day I thought it was a good idea. And then by doing it on patients who had like more health issues, how it helped them, and how I incorporated into the cosmetic acupuncture patients, and they loved it, you know. So I feel like I know what I'm talking about in a way.
Yeah. It's so cool how you discovered it, kind of almost like not randomly, but because you knew there was something that you could do more. And I love that it was like to heal really somebody.
It was to heal,
and then it turned out also to be so good for, you know, the radiance of the skin and all that. And so the person can really feel good on the inside and on the outside. So I guess it was really about like helping, but I guess just like you started acupuncture, I'm guessing you wanted to heal and you wanted to help people with whatever health challenges they had. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you actually walk us through maybe, you know, your life, and maybe tell us how you, not everything, and of course you share whatever you want, whatever comes your way. You know, the idea is not to have like a perfect interview. It's a conversation to inspire people and to see how, you know, how life can take turns and that we didn't expect it. I'm sure like 2-3 years ago you didn't know, like you said, where you were gonna be today. So maybe just like rewind a little and maybe take us maybe how you got into acupuncture, and also when it comes to Dharma. In my interviews and what I've learned from coaching people, sometimes life challenges, you know, obstacles, even trauma sometimes, no matter how painful they are, when we go through them, they can be very transformative and really shape us into the person we needed to be to walk that path of Dharma. So if there's anything you want to share when it comes to your life story, that were like pivotal moments that could be an explanation, a reason why you are who you are today, really.
Well, one big event was, so I studied in Canada. I did 1 year in Canada, and at the end of Canada, I crossed Canada. We were like 4 girlfriends, 4 girlfriends and 1 guy, and we were in a Fiat Panda. You know Fiat Panda?
Like a small
very
car.
small, very small car. 4 girls, 1 guy, with for 2 months. You know, crossing Canada.
Okay.
Loved it so much. And you know, beautiful trip when I was 20, you know, whatever. And at the end of the trip, all my friends, they had to go back because of visa. Me, I still had like a month or something. And I decided to go to Guatemala on my own.
Okay.
At 20, I was 20. I went to Guatemala, and the guy, the guy that was with us with the 4 girls, you know, he takes me to the airport, and he gives me a book about Buddhism, about the Dalai Lama. And I go inside the plane, and I read the book, and I was like, you know, I had a highlighter, I think, and I started almost to highlight everything in the book. That was like, oh my God, that's a revelation, you know. So, yeah, that was an event that changed my life. So when I came back to France, it's difficult, you know, when you are 40, you know, to tell your life. When I came back to France, my only aim was to meet a Buddhist monk. You know, I wanted to see a monk. That's it. And then, in my 20s, I was very much involved into the Buddhist industry. No, Buddhist, I wanted to learn about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you make your dream come true? Did you actually manage to...
Well, I thought like nothing else in life mattered, you know. So
it changed your way of looking at life and appreciating life and moving through life?
No, I just thought like, what else do you want in life more than training your mind, you know? Like really, what matters is about training the mind. Pourquoi le live est en anglais? Yeah, parce que ouais, on pourrait le faire en français. I don't know. Anyway,
we can always do it again in French.
But yeah, no, just to think like yeah, that nothing else matter more than training your mind, you know. So yeah, so it's funny because I met a Buddhist nun, and I took all my friends saying like, look what I found, and nobody was interested. That was so funny. That when you think about a bit about you know, I don't know if you believe in life before something, but you know, like how come me, I was interested and all my friends not interested at all. You know, like there must be something that we bring from the past in some ways, you know. It was talking to me and they were like, Sakina, what are you doing? You know, like, anyway, my parents as well. I mean, it was a bit of a, yeah.
A little bit like when I came across yoga and dive right into the yogic world, and yeah, not everybody understand it, but that's...
yeah, not everybody understand. And yeah, when you come from quite a pragmatic family, just go back, you know, to reality. It's like, you know, you always have to do things differently. Can you just, yeah, I mean, to be honest, the fact that I am married with kids now, you know, like I'm married with kids, we have a house, we don't have a dog, but you know, I have a very like traditional life, how to say, very you know, that's what we want, or that's what life expects of us. I have 2 kids, you know, like a husband, a house, a car, you know, like, but in fact it's very unusual for me. It's not the fact that it's so traditional for me, it's not, it's how to say, unconventional. For me to be conventional is quite unconventional. So now I know I am on a conventional area of my life, you know, like the married life with the kids, you know, but it's unconventional for me to be conventional. Like my dad was like, Sakina, can you just not do what everybody does, you know, why you have to do always like crazy thing? And now I am in the right path, and but which is unconventional for me, you know.
I love it because living your Dharma is exactly about that. It's about living your life and whatever makes sense to you and whatever lights you up and whatever you feel like so curious about and you want to dive into the topic. To me, this is exactly what living your Dharma is. And that's what makes it hard, because not everybody is willing to follow those little nudge of life being like, hey, go look into that direction, but everybody's going that way. Like, no, go there. And I can totally relate, because I've been coming from like a similar background, pretty conventional as well, and I've done things that people would not necessarily understand, but now I'm like, but yeah, because we're all different. And I love using the comparison of living your Dharma as with art. Either, you know, we all have our own very unique musical note to play in the symphony of life. Or if we think of life as a nice, beautiful painting, we all have a little dot of color to bring. But if we're all the same color, if we all play the same tune, then life will be pretty boring.
Yeah, exactly.
So wow, I love that. I love that you've been like following those things that were like catching your attention, and you wanted to know more. So did you find this nun in France? And is she the one
she was actually English. She was L'amour. She was in a Buddhist nun. I didn't know you could be a woman, you know, and be a nun. And so I met her. She was actually English. I always have a very strong link. I live in the UK as well now. So I met her. I first teaching about anger, I think. Anyway, I'm very straight away. I was 21, and for like 6 years, I was like full on into this tradition. And And
is it what inspired you to then study acupuncture? Or?
No, okay. So the story is I actually decided to become a nun. So Yeah, I was 24. You know, I was 24. I shaved my head. I took the robes.
Oh,
You can
wow.
imagine my parents, my friend. They were saying, "What again are you doing?" You know, another crazy thing. And so I did it. And I was at the beginning. I was in Paris. It was really hard. You know, I was 24, and suddenly you say, "What have I done?" And I decided to go in a Buddhist center in the UK next to York.
Okay.
Anyway, so I went there very much full on, loved it, except I fell in love. Like everybody's saying, like, Sakina, it was just a question of time before you would fall in love. I mean, that's just, so I fell in love. I tried hard. They tried to help me, to send me away and everything. But no, I fell in love. And I decided, okay, if I stop being a nun, I want to be able to help people in some way, you know. So I was thinking what all the job I could do, and in the Buddhist center there was a girl who actually had Bell palsy. I have a strong link with Bell palsy, and she said like the only thing that helped her was acupuncture. Okay. And I decided, okay, let's stop that, go back. I looked for the best school of acupuncture in the UK, and I studied acupuncture, and I stopped. I said bye bye to being a nun. And it's very funny because I didn't say to anyone I was going to stop being a nun. And we were talking about synchronicity, and the day because I was sent as a teacher in Lyon in France, I slammed the door. I closed the door of the center, and somebody calls me. I never knew who it was. Somebody calls me, unknown number, and it's the most beautiful music I've ever heard. And I was on my way to go back to Paris and to start a new life. And with this music, going into my ears, and nobody after came clean in a way saying, Sakina, it was me calling you, never knew who it was. Just at the moment I closed the door, and
from the Buddhist center.
Yeah, from the Buddhist center.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And I pick up the phone, and I never pick up the phone, and I hear this beautiful music, and I thought, okay, yeah.
Oh wow, I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. Like life telling you, yeah, now follow the music, and
follow the music. Yeah.
Did, but it's super interesting with regards to Dharma, because sometimes we feel like, okay, when if you follow your life's purpose, it has to be the same and look the same for your entire life. But for me, what really makes sense is to really listen, to pay attention to everything that's going on in your body, in your heart, and there's this notion of feeling excitement and enthusiasm about whatever you're doing and whatever you're going through. And when it's that excitement is no longer there, it probably means it's time to go time to reconnect again. But I love that that's why it's interesting to understand Dharma as a big umbrella. And you probably had that very much urge to serve humanity in one way or the other. Oh, I don't know.
No, I mean, it was my now I understand. I'm so far away from that, but when you are 20, you think it was about you.
No, but to me, then being a nun and then using acupuncture to help others heal, to me it really does make sense and fall under that same umbrella. So,
but they are fun. Like, for example, this morning I was doing my dry brushing. So at the moment my parents-in-law are here, and I woke up and I do my dry brushing and on the face, and then my mother-in-law was like, oh, Sakina, it's so good, you take care of your skin. And then my husband was laughing. He was saying, like, look at the nun now who only takes care of, which thinks about only talks about the business and do dry brushing on the face. But it's fine.
Yeah, but why not? Why not? You
exactly,
have to
why not?
That period, and now you're like, come on, you're coming to life, running that
differently.
Yeah, and why would life have to be just one way? And
exactly, we cannot copy. I really think, and it's funny because I think Instagram is good for that in a way. It's like, we talk a lot about being authentic. And it's a bit true, it's like we try to copy, we think, I don't know, I remember about this woman wanting to have dimples, dimples. And she had done like aesthetic surgery to have dimples. She thought if she had dimples, she would be happy, And then dimples happened and she was not happy, so it's just like we're trying even in the even with the business part, they say, oh Sakina, who is your web designer, what do you do, it's just like it works for me, but it's not necessarily gonna work for you. It's really about finding authenticity about who you are, whatever you are. And when we manage to connect with that, whatever it is, whatever it is, if we are a person with no dimples, like I have no dimples, who doesn't like to, I don't know, just to embrace whatever we are in our life, and like sometimes the pain or the frustration arise because we compare ourselves with others. But the thing is that we would be so much happier if we just embrace whatever we are, for whatever we are. It's like, it's fine, without fault, without default, without, like we are shy, it's fine, we embrace, we accept, we are shy, or we accept we are somebody who, I don't know, whatever it is, And this authenticity that Instagram is, at the moment we're all talking about, attracting more people by being more who we are. And I resonate with that, like sometimes I follow people, that really authentic, you can see, and they don't give a fuck about whatever, and I like them for that. Even if I'm not like that, I'm not trying to be like them, because I'm not, and then it sounds false if we try to be somebody we are not. So it works for me for something. It wouldn't work if I was trying to dance, for example, doing like whatever trend it was about dancing. With me, it would be so like people would say, what the fuck, Sakina, what are you trying to achieve here? So just trying to be authentic, whatever it is we are.
Yes, thank you. I love it, because I could tell when the few messages we exchanged and that you didn't know what Dharma was, but I love it because you talking about Dharma perfectly. This is
because
exactly
in
what
Buddhism is different. We say like Dharma is actually the Buddhist teaching. And I understand there is another girl I follow called I am Sarah Rose. Maybe
yeah, I studied with her.
Yeah, and you study with her?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, she sounds amazing. And she talks all about living your Dharma, so I got this, I understand through her what it is. And I thought it was time. I didn't know you studied with her. You did the course.
Yeah. But to come back to your point, it's exactly what it is. It's really daring to be our authentic self, even if it looks different from other people. And how do you become your authentic self? By following what brings you joy, what brings you excitement, what makes sense to you, what you get passionate about. Like it could look many different ways, but yeah, I think you got it perfectly right. Living an authentic life.
Yeah, and accepting where we are, whatever we are,
Yes.
Accepting, yeah. Not trying to be somebody we're not. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know some people, they say you fake it until you, what's the expression?
Yeah,
fake it until you make it.
Make it.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean,
I can hear you.
Making it, maybe. Accept it, you're gonna make it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think to me it's always this this balance to find between action, aligned actions, some aligned authentic actions, and then surrendering to whatever. To me, whatever we do in life is like a dance with life, but whenever you act, you move energy in a way, then energy is going to come back to you the other way. And then I use very often, especially for instance when I launched these interviews, I was like, hey, I'm going to reach out to all these people that really inspire me on Instagram, and I'm going to send these how do you call it, message in a bottle. And so I'll send my message, I'll be, hey, I would love to interview you talking about Dharma. And I send my messages, I put all my excitement, my enthusiasm in the message. But then I was like, if it comes back, great. If it doesn't, then it wasn't meant to come back. So it's really this dance of you can't expect to live your Dharma sitting on your couch all day and waiting for life to happen for you. But I totally I'm with you in the sense that authenticity is super, super important.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to be somebody that you're not, basically faking. Okay, so how, like, would you share like how you felt when when life kind of like started taking a turn you didn't necessarily expect, when you were, you had your acupuncturist office, I don't know how you call it, like, and then you were like, okay, I need to find another way to do things now. Like, how
it was, once again, it was all aligned. I mean, I had just been on maternity leave, and I came back to see my colleague. I think it was, we must have been in lockdown on the 20th of March. I must have met her on the 18th of March. I was about to go back, and I said, oh, let me come back to you in 2 days or something, and lockdown happened. It was just, I didn't even have to cancel my contract. I was still just like my maternity leave, and then it was 2 days before I was supposed to come back that everything stopped. So it wasn't difficult. It wasn't difficult on that side. And so first of all, I was in quite a small flat in Brighton. My husband had to work from home, and we had 2 kids, one of 3, one of 1. Chaos, like total chaos. Oh my goodness. Oh, and 2 boys, like it's not like I have quiet kids, and so what happened is, like, we were not supposed to go outside except for exercising. So every day I was taking both kids into a park, a big park, open park, and I met a guy, Italian guy. And I thought he was a bit like arrogant. He had no shirt. It was in May in the UK. It was really hot, And he was like, so without his shirt and all that. And we started to talk. We started to become friends. And his wife was working from home. My husband was working from home. And he had a boy called Leo. Mine is Leonardo. And a little boy. We started to just get on well. Every day we were meeting. Like, I don't know, we were like just having some oxygen, but we were like talking. He was interested in, I don't know, whatever. We were talking about life, while the kids were jumping into the trees. It was just like we were happy to meet every day. And one day he tells me, you're going to meet my wife. My wife is coming. She was coming to pick up the Leo. And Stephanie, finally I meet the wife, Fair enough, we don't have like jealous partner, and I meet Stephanie and an American woman, and she said, she has a business into the sugaring. Sugaring, what it is? It's waxing with honey and sugar. Right. She was a beauty therapist who opened her own business, and she's the one say, oh, Sakina, do you do facial cupping? And I said yes, and she said, oh, you should open a business. We got on well so well. And because her business was going down because all the beauty therapists couldn't buy her product because they didn't have a client. She was hit so hard by COVID. Some people really, really got hit. And, she didn't have any help. I know many people didn't have any help. But in the UK, for example, me, I had help. My husband didn't lose his job. And Stephanie, she was one of those who had really successful business. She was doing so much for the community. COVID killed everything what she was doing. And she was not answering the boxes to have help. It was really hard. I mean, she's an amazing woman. And I really wanted to go with her, let's do it together. And she was the one who found the name, the facial cupping expert, I was like, I asked her, how should I be called? And she said, the facial cupping expert. I said, okay. And then we bought online the GoDaddy website. And then at some point she told me, well, Sakina, you can do it on your own, I cannot be with you, and that's it. But we are in touch, actually. I just sent her my brushes, I will be forever grateful to her. She's pregnant with a second child now. And so it was so it's funny because the guy I was her husband. Every day we were together for 3 hours, 4 hours sometime. COVID stopped, lockdown stopped, we didn't see each other. Like we had a relationship stopped completely, but I started to be with his wife, you know. And with his wife, I think we're going to be in touch forever, I guess. I mean.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a beautiful synchronicity, and how like in the middle of chaos, like, you know, that lotus flower blossoming in the middle of the craziness.
But it wasn't hard, you know, like it wasn't fighting, you know, like it just happened to be on the path. I mean, if we like, we were talking about synchronicity, you know, like it just when you start to see sign, you need to have, it's true that you need to have an open mind. If you are too wind up into your worries, or you know, if your mind is too heavy with stuff, you won't be able to welcome synchronicities. Does it make sense or not? You won't be able to welcome signs.
Yeah, to see
because
them.
we won't see them. Whereas if your mind doesn't have, if your mind is not too clustered or crowded with like unnecessary thoughts, you're more able to see this sign and to jump on that, not to jump on them, but to follow this path.
Yes.
To follow this path.
Yes. Absolutely. This is in the yogic philosophy, it's called kriya, when you follow the flow, really, and you get into that flow state. So it's exactly that. It's about not being too heavy on the mind, and that's why the yogic practice makes so much sense, because you know, you can drop the energy in the body. And to me, I you know, my body speaks to me when I have to make a decision, and in my head is like, no, this makes no sense, this is too dangerous but my whole body goes like, opens up. And the other way around, when, you know, it's like logical, it makes sense, but I can sense my heart, my body goes like, but you have to learn to those subtle changes in the body. And I love it. Goes back to what you were saying. Like, I'm sure you probably had right on with that woman, and with the idea of starting a new business, because like you said, you didn't have a plan. You were just like going with the flow. And I love that, because I've struggled so many times as well when I was younger. And I mean, I used to work in marketing in the cosmetic industry, actually, back in the US. And I do remember like seeing these, even when I was studying, like, what do you see yourself? And I was like, I don't know, like, I don't know. So having a clear mind, being open-minded, and because you never know where the opportunity might come from. It could be coming from a competition at the park.
Exactly, from a half-naked man in a park, you know, that you think. Exactly.
Oh wow. So cool. Awesome. So you started the website, and
what happened? Another synchronicity is just like, okay, so I am here saying, okay, I am on my home, I'm the facial cupping expert. I'm gonna the first video ever on my Instagram is actually outside Stephanie's office. We just had bought the domain name, and she said, okay, Sakina, I'm gonna film you. And I just talked. If you see the very first video, hi, my name is Sakina, you know, and that was the first post on Instagram, you know, like, that's it. But what happened is like, okay, I am on my own, and then I have to make a website, and I knew how to make a website. I had done it for my acupuncture for stuff, and I thought, okay, let's do some picture of somebody using the cup. Somebody beautiful. And I have this friend called Jennifer, who is beautiful. So I call her and I say, hey, Jen, can I take a few pictures of you? So I go to her place, I take my camera, I try to make some picture, and it happened, the husband is there. So I am with all the husband of my friend. And the guy tells me, he said, what are you doing, Sakina? And he's a pilot, but he's also very good with SEO and with websites. And he tells me, you know, it sounds interesting, what you're doing. And he actually offered to do the website and to give me some guidance. And actually, he's still by my side for the business, you know. I mean, it was yeah, it's yeah,
So you
it's kind
went
of
there
a
for
bit
the
ease of an unofficial business partner, you know. Yeah.
right. So you went there for the pictures, and you ended up with a business partner.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. We are friends. I mean, we are like the four of us, like you know, he's friend with my husband. Like we are the four of us. We are friends.
The Four Musketeers.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love that. It sounds what you're telling us. It sounds like you just jumped right in, and you didn't start, oh my God, how am I gonna do this?
No.
And how am I gonna start the
No.
website?
And that's why I don't even have a plan for the business. You know, I don't have a plan. It's like I remember like when I was studying acupuncture, you know, and I had boyfriends, and I was like, I remember having one friend, she was like getting married, having everything. And I asked her, how do you do? And she said, she has a notebook and she writes all the goal and all her aims, you know. And it worked for her. And me, I was, you know, I cannot put plans, you know, like, right. You know, like even in France, you know, you do the dissertation at school, you remember? I don't know which year are you born?
1980.
Me too.
Yeah?
Yeah, 1980. And yeah, dissertation, I was so rubbish. I was starting, you know, grand A, you know, starting the title, small title, and then I was, let's go for it. You know, I could never, ever, ever finish a plan. And I cannot just make a plan. It just doesn't work. Before I was ashamed. I mean, I cannot say I was ashamed, but now I just embrace it. It's just I don't make a plan. I don't know where I'm going with the business, and I don't know where I'm going with life. You know, it's like, yeah. No idea, no plan. It's just like more fun like that, you know? So
it's more fun. And you know what? I think most people don't dare to jump into new opportunities, new exciting adventures, because they think they need to figure out the how.
Yeah.
But what I always say is like, you need to know why, you know, why. And maybe it's not necessarily a mental why. It's like, that excitement that's coming from like, so you know you want to go that way, you don't know how you're gonna get there, and sometimes, you know, life can make you like and like you just explained, you went to that person for pictures and you ended up with a business partner.
That's it. It's what is so good, you know. It's so good. But it's like it's so good. It's because otherwise it's a bit like when you were talking about the river. Sometimes the river, if it goes into a stone, it cannot go that way, it goes another way. So if we have an obstacle, I'm not saying like we shouldn't work hard to overcome obstacle, but sometimes it doesn't feel right, you know. It's just like it's too complicated, there is too many problems, let's move on to the next thing. I mean, we have to be it's not about being lazy, about not doing something, but if we see that there is too much obstacle, maybe it's meant not to happen. So and to take another thing, and like that is easier because you go where you're supposed to go. And,
absolutely. And I loved, I think you shared it in that story where you were telling a little bit of you know, how it all started for you. And I think you said something that you know, my point is that it's not because you do something from the heart and that it means it's easy every day.
No, it's not easy. No,
it's a lot of hard work, and especially when you run your own business, but it's so rewarding.
Because you know you're on the right path, so it doesn't, it's hard, but it's not easy, but you do it with pleasure almost, like I upset my husband yesterday. What did I say? I said something like the only thing that, but I wasn't upset with him or anything. I said that the only thing that brings me pleasure is to work, you know. And he looked at me and he was like, what? I mean, I wasn't joking. I mean, I forgot what it was. I mean, because it's chaos at home with the parents-in-law and the food, everything is so busy, you know. And I'm like, I just want to work, you know, like, and I was telling him. So it's just like, I have so many issues, even with the business, but it's a pleasure because it's on your path, you know. It's you know, you're supposed to do that. The day it doesn't feel right anymore, the day I'm like, that's it, I will go. I mean, I don't think I will do something else, you know, another business, because when you start a business, I think it's addictive, you know. But I don't have much ambition, you know. Let's see.
One day at a time.
Yeah, and it's fun like that.
I usually like to close the interview with like one piece of advice that you'd like to give to the people listening? But you gave a lot already, but I don't know if you have anything else you'd like to add.
Yeah, it is this authenticity again. Huh? I mean, yeah, because I'm inspired by so many people when they are I love this guy called Sun Yi on Instagram, authentic as fuck, he says, you know, and I see my friend, like one of my friends, she's a designer, but she's so shy and she's so doubting. And she's so good in what she's doing, you know, and I just to telling her to embrace, to accept who she is, you know, and then it's gonna work. I don't know, to be authentic, to not try to be somebody else.
Yeah.
Do not try to become somebody else, and then you start to be in tune with yourself, and whatever it is, really whatever it is. And we love people, you know, we love people who say what they think, or you know, like, who are authentic, whatever the authenticity. Even they have like crazy ideas, we say, oh, you know, they're crazy for that, but we respect them because they're authentic.
Yeah, be authentic and believe in your dreams.
Yeah,
and dare to be yourself. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's so simple, but it's so profound at the same time, because we don't know how to be authentic anymore. We so like caught up in our conditioning and culture and, you know, family system and all of that. So it's like you have to break through all these layers to discover who you really are on the inside.
It's not easy. It sounds easy, but it's not that easy. But then some peace happen because we're not trying anymore to fight for somebody we're not. And we more at like, it's okay if people don't like us. I mean, I'm saying that, you know, like, it's never nice when somebody tells you, you know, but we're more at peace with ourselves, you know.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much for, and your energy is so contagious. It was so fun to listen to your story and your wisdom of nuggets of wisdom. Maybe we could wrap it up and by you telling us what you up to. I know you have these new brushes, face brushes.
The new brushes. I love my new brushes. I absolutely love them. Really loving them. Yes, they are out of stock, so they are being made in Sweden. And that's it. And hopefully, I don't know when they're gonna be ready. Hopefully in 1 or 2 weeks. But then, you know, having a business is having problems. The bag is a little bit small, so I don't know if I remake all the bag or if all the bag are okay. You know, like stuff like that. But it's fun. Yeah. So I am into that, and then I have another thing. I mean, I have many plans. You know, it's good. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's for
many new projects. Huh? No, because earlier you said, I have no plan, but I love that you finished the interview saying, I have many plans.
Yeah, no, it's true. No, but it's like one at a time, you know. They just pop up, you know. I don't have a plan for the business to become whatever. I just have like, I want to develop some stuff, you know. Anyway.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you the best. Thank you so much for your authenticity, because I think you really, you know, embody what authenticity is like.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, everybody who were live. Those interviews are really more about the story. So is it okay for you if people have questions that they reach out to you directly?
Yeah, please. Always, I reply to everyone. I mean, if I don't reply, it's, I don't know why. I reply.
Okay, awesome. And if you have questions for me, same thing. Feel free to reach out. And for the non-English speakers tonight, I'll be posting the interview on YouTube. And there you can, normally you should have subtitles. You could put French subtitles. I'll send you the link if you want to share it.
Thank you, Perrine.
Thank you, Sakina. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.